So we'll jump into the last point here now, and I think innovation. Innovation is the year. All right, do you want to kick this one off? I feel like we should lead off with your I'm hinting because it's in the notes. It's the number one point.
I know.
Right. It's at a certain location. Like, how have they innovated so beautifully here?
It's this great restaurant chain that a lot of people have heard of. Like, to the extent that, Charlie, you would understand, like, these things sit on every corner, every road. You walk past these gorgeous restaurant every day.
I bet everyone's thinking McDonald's right now, and it's not McDonald's.
Fantastic.
But I bet everyone's shopped there.
So when you walk in, you go to the person at the front and you go and tap your card on the thing and you go and get your $1 coffee from 7-Eleven. And it is the greatest innovation I've ever seen. Why? It grinds my coffee whilst I push the button, Charlie. Like, just grinds it. It froths my milk just as well as the cafes froth my milk. And I get a glorious takeaway coffee cup that's got a $1 and a dollar sign on the bottom, just so everyone knows how much I've paid for my coffee. Talk about innovation in its finest form at 7-Eleven on their coffees. Did I set that up well?
So well.
But this is it, a business that's sitting there. They've got so much space everywhere, right? Like, every main corner, it's like a McDonald's and a 7-Eleven. And they prime people coming in, getting, you and I, we spent way too much money on protein bars at 7-Eleven, but that's all about the convenience. And they're like, well, what is the next convenience? Not everyone wants Slurpees. We can put in coffee machines and just pump volume. Talk about innovation, because now they're in the store buying protein bars. Now they're in the store buying a bottle of water. Now they're in the store buying all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, innovation's fantastic. Don't need a barista, just go straight in. I appreciate what they have done.
Yeah, we should point out is, like, it's a reasonable coffee as well, right? There's been many crappy coffee machines over the year that aren't alluring at the cheap price. But I think 7-Eleven with their dollar coffee had done an amazing innovation and way of bringing people into their stores who then buy all these other things at a premium price.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they innovated amazingly in their way. And I just think it's a really good example. I suspect they took quite a bit of market share from local cafes and franchises.
Dude, the amount of tradies that are in 7-Elevens that would have gone to a cafe before is incredible. Incredible. Talk about innovating. But this comes back to another point around, like, picking trends as well, right? Like, if you rewound maybe 10 years and you said to everybody, hey, you can go to this machine and push a button and go and get your coffee and it's going to be good and it's in 7-Eleven, it probably wasn't the right time. It was the same with Apple with their Apple glasses or Google glasses or whichever one was. It was just too early. The trend was never there. It wasn't ready. The market did not want that at that time. But then 7-Eleven comes in and sees this trend around people saying, coffee's getting too expensive. Inflation's killing me. And I will say that 7-Eleven is going from $1 to $2, which is outrageous. But it's like, how do I utilize this trend? How do I innovate to maximize my returns based on where this market is going? And I think it's the greatest example where people can think about that exact same thing of going, well, how do I innovate with trends, whether it's improving my service, providing another product, providing cheap, more expensive, however you want to approach it, just to make sure my business is not stagnant, to keep filling the moat up with water, to keep improving on my business model, to keep making people want to come in. I can keep going, Charlie.
I want to share a story here. I've got a couple of stories. But when I was like maybe 22, 23, I was actually considering opening a plumbing business, right? Because I was a qualified plumber at this point. It would make sense to open a plumbing business, right? I was doing kind of some what would be like freelancing or like contracting and stuff. But it's like, I was like, I know I'm going to get a factory. I'm going to get all these guys. And I had a mentor that said something to me and it really hit home. He's like, how do you expect – there's already all these plumbers in these areas that are established. They own their land and factories and all these things. They've already paid for their excavator. It's like, how do you actually expect to be competitive in an established market? Right? He's like, and he goes, I'll give you another example. He's like, is this set of strip shops? There's already a fish and chip shop there. Why would you open another fish and chip shop? He's like, that's what you're thinking about doing. And he's like, is that where things are going? And I'm like, oh, this is really interesting. And he goes, the internet is new and got mass adoption coming to it, have you considered that if this thing pulls off, like you can be the first person on here? And like it really hit home for me because like I didn't have a good answer in how I was going to compete with other plumbers in the area at this point. And I opened an eBay store and like saw immense success quickly despite having no skills.
Luck.
It's because I picked a innovative opportunity, right?
Yeah.
The people that got on the internet early, like just imagine this is like Yellow Pages existed, like the idea of going, do you know what? I'm going to be a better Yellow Pages marketer. Terrible idea. Like the moat was collapsing as the innovation of the internet took off.
Totally.
The idea of becoming an online advertiser, winner.
Yeah.
So I feel like this point's really important, and I can go with even more examples of this because this one keeps moving. You have to keep doing it. This is not one that you can go, all right, I'm going to innovate once. Like you have to keep innovating and investing in research and development. Like my second round of innovation was Facebook ads. I was very early on Facebook ads, and I actually landed some massive clients, not because of any other reason, but I was the only option. There just wasn't that many people doing it.
Forced into it.
Today, Grant, I have started doing TikTok ads.
Yep.
And do you know what's interesting? If I post anything online about the results I'm getting on TikTok ads, moths to a flame. My inbox and messages light up with, when can you do this for me? Can you help me out with it? Like I'm not even trying to sell it.
Yep.
This is just literally me wasting my own money trying things on TikTok. I shouldn't say wasting. It's actually been really successful.
It's good. Yep.
Yeah, but it's like me doing research and development. The intent isn't to make money off it. I'm just like, does this work? Does it not work? Is it going to be worth anything? But I've got literally people lined up to spend with me because it's innovative.
Yep. It's a new thing.
Yeah. So how many business owners are holding on to legacy things, not innovating, just waiting for someone to innovate and like just destroy market share for them?
Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all, and you want to dive deeper into being a full stack business owner, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.